Title: She fell 2 miles from the sky and survived. 11 days alone in the Amazon. December 24th, 1971. A commercial flight carrying 92 people disappears without a trace over the dense Amazon jungle. But one story from that tragedy would go on to defy logic, nature, and death itself. This is the unbelievable survival of Juliane Koepcke, the 17-year-old girl who fell 2 miles from the sky and lived. Juliane was the daughter of German scientists. A quiet, curious teen, she had spent part of her childhood not just in the city, but in the jungle, where her parents studied wildlife. She knew how to handle snakes, how to spot danger, and how to keep calm in nature's chaos. But nothing could prepare her for what was coming. That Christmas Eve, Juliane and her mother boarded Lanza Flight 508, a short domestic trip from Lima to Pucallpa, Peru. The airline was known for its poor safety standards, but it was the only option. Just 40 minutes into the flight, the sky turned black. The plane shook violently as a storm engulfed it. Thunder, lightning, wind. Then, it struck. A bolt of lightning hit the right wing. In a split second, the fuselage exploded. At 10,000 feet in the air, the plane came apart, and Juliane, still strapped to her seat, was sucked out into the sky. She fell for what felt like forever. Through clouds, through silence, through chaos. No parachute, no warning, just a girl plummeting through the sky toward the Amazon rainforest below. Somehow, miraculously, she survived the impact. When she opened her eyes, she was lying under the thick jungle canopy. Her collarbone was broken, one eye swollen shut, her arm sliced open and infested with dirt. But she was alive, and she was alone. She called out for her mother, no answer, just birds, insects, the endless breath of the rainforest. Juliane had no food, no map, no idea where she had landed. But she remembered something her father once told her. If you're ever lost in the jungle, follow water. Streams lead to rivers, rivers lead to people. So she got up, barefoot, bleeding, trembling, and started walking. For 11 days, Juliane wandered through the most dangerous jungle on earth. She drank water straight from the stream, ate a few candy wrappers she had found in the wreckage, slept on the ground, swatted away mosquitoes as big as coins. She wore only one sandal. Her wounds became infected. Maggots burrowed into the gash on her arm. She didn't scream. She didn't panic. I let them stay, she would later say, because they were eating the dead flesh. If I pulled them out, the wound would rot. She passed wreckage, dead passengers still strapped to their seats, rotting in the heat. Her mother was not among them. Sometimes she hallucinated, hearing her mother's voice, seeing her face in the trees. But Juliane kept walking. On the 11th day, weak and feverish, she turned a corner along a river and froze. A small boat, a hut, signs of life. She waited until local fishermen returned. At first, they thought she was a ghost, a forest spirit. But then she spoke. My name is Juliane. I was on the plane. They took her to the nearest village. A doctor treated her wounds, and news quickly spread across the world. A teenage girl had fallen 2 miles from the sky and survived alone in the Amazon jungle for 11 days. Sadly, the story carried a final heartbreak. Rescue teams later found her mother's body. She had also survived the fall, but died from her injuries, waiting for help that never came. Juliane returned to Germany, became a biologist like her parents, and many years later, she returned to the crash site, not to relive the pain, but to make peace with it. She should not have survived the fall, the jungle, the heat, the hunger, the loneliness. But she did, and her story reminds us of something powerful. Survival isn't always about strength. Sometimes it's about instinct, grit, and a refusal to give up, no matter how hopeless it feels. Could you have survived what Juliane did? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more true stories of survival, courage, and the impossible, Subscribe to Global Truth Files.